This preparation we have to make already now, before we arrive to prison. In prison, you lose everything. You are undressed, you get this prisoner suit, nothing of what constituted a nice furniture, a nice carpet, a nice curtain, not to speak. You don't have a wife anymore, you don't have children, you don't have your library, nothing of what makes, you never see a flower, nothing of what makes life pleasant for you, you keep. And nobody resists who does not renounce pleasures of life beforehand. There is a verse in Colossians about mortify your members which are on earth. The Catholics have made out of it all kind of penances, and you had to walk on your knees up the steps of I don't know what church in Rome, and all kind of pilgrimages and 40 days of fasting and all kind. And because they made this, we have given up mortifications altogether. But there exists a Christian mortification, a giving up the joys of the earth already now, and the Christian who prepares himself for this already now will not suffer the loss of them when he is in prison. If you use the things of this world without allowing an attachment, an emotional attachment, and I personally, I use as an exercise, I live in the United States now, and you can imagine how an American supermarket looks like. You find there all kind of beauties, endless. And I walk through supermarkets, I look to this, I say, I can go without. I go to another thing, this is very nice, I can go without. I go to the third thing, I can go without. I have visited the whole supermarket, I did not spend $1 single. I have had the joy of seeing many beautiful things, and also knowing that I can go without. We have to learn this beforehand. We have somehow in making his commercials, Brother Pike mentioned liberalism. It is very interesting. We also had liberal theologians and modernist theologians. None of them resisted. None of them resisted any torture. Why should I die for a dead God and for a problematic Bible? If the story of Adam and Eve is not true, the miracles of Moses are not true, Joshua did not stop the sun, the prophecies have been written many centuries after they have been fulfilled. Jesus has not been born from a virgin. He did not resurrect bodily. Well, then there are more lies in the Bible than there is in Pravda. And then why should I go to death? Why should I go to death for what is not true or at least problematic? I am Jewish myself. In Hebrew, the language which Jesus himself spoke, and in which the first revelation has been given, the Old Testament, the word doubt does not exist. Such a thing does not exist. To doubt is as wrong for a man as to walk on 4 legs. He is not meant to walk on 4 legs. A man walks erect, he is not a beast. And to doubt is subhuman. A man, to every one of us doubts come. Don't allow doubts about some problems, essential problems of the Bible, as the existence of God, the resurrection of Jesus, existence of eternal life, and so on. Every doubt, theological or philosophical doubt, makes you to be a potential traitor. You can allow yourself doubts when you have a nice study and you have to prepare a sermon. and you eat well, or you write a book, you can allow yourself all kind of daring ideas and doubts. But when you are tortured, these doubts are changed in treason, because you have to decide to live or to die for this faith. I speak now about the spiritual preparation of an underground worker. It is the solution of his doubts. Go on, just as in mathematics, somehow you don't get the solution, you go on, there must be a mistake somewhere, no? And you find out, don't live with doubts, but arrive to their solution. And now, just in the few moments which are left for now, we will have afterwards a question and answer session. I will continue tomorrow. To come to the very moment of torture. Torture is sometimes terribly painful. They use red-hot irons. Sometimes it is a simple beating. Now, a simple beating, we all have been spanked when we have been children. And so we say it's another spanking. It's not a big thing, yeah. But sometimes a simple beating is very easy to. You come back, Jesus has said, we should become again like children. So it means to get another spanking. It's not bad. But, by the way, a lady, a doctoress, came to me and said, what should I do? I think about throwing myself through the window. They call me again and again and wish to make me an informer in the underground church. And they threaten me that they will beat me if I don't accept it. What should I do? When I think that they will beat me, it will be so terrible. I can't take it. And I have the solution only to become an informer or to throw myself through the window. I said, you have another solution. Give a stick into your husband's hand and tell him to give you a good beating, and you will see how you can bear it. A beating is just enough. Don't be afraid of a beating. And, but the communists don't stop at beatings. They use very refined tortures. Now, torture, you must know, can work both ways. It can harden you, and it can strengthen your decision not to tell the police anything. And there are thieves who would resist any torture and would not betray with whom they have stolen together. And the more you beat them, the more obstinate they would become. Or it can just break your will. Now I will tell you one very interesting case which has been published by the Czech Communist press. You know that under Dubček there was a period of relaxation, and then they could publish certain things in Czechoslovakia. And the following thing, I have the article with me, and an article appeared at that time. Novotny, who has been the predecessor of Dubček, the communist dictator, had arrested one of his intimate comrades, a communist leader and a convinced atheist, a member of the Central Committee of the Communist Party. Because in prison we were not only Christians or Jews or patriots, communists were also in prison. They arrest one communist, arrest the other, and torture him just as they would arrest everybody. And now they arrested this communist leader and they put him in a prison cell, alone. Electric rays pass through this cell which disturbs the mind. And continually a loudspeaker, day and night, is your name Joseph or not Joseph? His name was not Joseph. Think it well over. Are you Joseph or are you not Joseph? The biggest criminal of America has been Dillinger, but you are a bigger criminal than Dillinger. But what is your first name? Is it Joseph or is it not Joseph? You are a counter-revolutionist, you are a spy, but are you Joseph or are you not? Just to madden him, you know. And this day and night, he felt that he loses his mind. And at once, he got an illumination. And he said, I have met now unmitigated evil. If communists torture a Christian, it is not absolute evil, because communists believe that they will construct an earthly paradise. Christians hinder them, so it is right to torture the Christians. There is some idea of right in this. But when a communist tortures a communist, it is torture for torture's sake. There exists absolutely no justification. And he said, I have met now unmitigated evil. But wait a little bit. Every coin has two sides. Every electricity has two poles. If there is an unmitigated evil, against whom does this unmitigated evil fight? There must be an unmitigated good. This is God, and against this they fight. When he was called to the interrogator, he entered smiling into his room, and he told him, you can switch off now your loudspeaker because it has attained its result. I have become a Christian. And the man, now the officer asked him, how did it happen? And then he told him this whole story. And the officer said, wait a little bit. He called a few of his comrades and said, please repeat the story before your comrades, before my comrades. He repeated the story, and the captain told the other police officer, I have told you that this method will not work. It is overdone. It's interesting. That the devil is not almighty and all wise like God. He makes mistakes. And torture, communist torture, is an overdoing which can spiritually be used very well. It is such an explosion of wickedness. Wickedness for wickedness' sake. That if you have the right spiritual preparation, it might strengthen you in faith.